by Nissan. Choose Nissan today for great offers on our most exciting lineup ever. Shop ChooseNissan.com.
How about this? These guys got together and broke a huddle before the game. It's the tail end of it. Old Little League style. Put your hands in on three. Say something cool. Beat Cueto. Beat the Giants. Whatever it is. Hopefully it helps lead to a win to snap this 11-game losing streak. Now the longest in Los Angeles Dodger history after the 8-6 defeat last night. Here's the lineup that'll try and get it done tonight. Chris Taylor to lead it off. Then it's Corey Seager at short. The third baseman is Justin Turner. Cody Bellinger hitting cleanup. Yasiel Puig had a home run last night. Bats fifth tonight with Granderson in the sixth spot. Grandal catching. Chase Utley back-to-back starts. And Clayton Kershaw hitting ninth. Like Kershaw, this is the third start for Johnny Cueto since spending some time on the disabled list. For him, one of the deal with a blister problem. And when he was trying to come back from that, injured his forearm. So he was out for the second half of July and all of August.
All kinds of pitches, all kinds of deliveries. Johnny Cueto is going to throw the kitchen sink at him tonight. He's pretty much on a free roll. You talk about deliveries, you talk about the fastball, the cutter, the slider, the curve, and the change. He's actually changing speeds more this year, taking a lot of velocity off the curveball and the changeup. And which delivery is he going to give you?
Quick pitch here. Taylor hits it foul. 0-2. Closed captioning brought to you by California Earthquake Authority. Get the strength to rebuild. Cueto is the kind of guy that loves to kind of toy around with hitters, toy around with lineups. You figure there's going to be plenty of toying tonight because you know he smells blood in the water with the Dodgers going through what they're going through.
I think you're right. I think that he'll be free and easy and loose as normal for him, but I think this will be extra special night of kind of body language and mechanics and all kinds of stuff.
2-2 on Taylor.
He always seems to have a little bit more fun than everybody else when he's out there pitching. A complete contrast compared to the Dodger pitcher.
Is 2-2. He pauses in the delivery, and that one drops off the table for strike three. Giants defense brought to you by Keck Medicine of USC. Buster Posey's been playing more first lately. Brandon Belt is out with a concussion, likely finished for the season. So they've had Hundley catching and Posey at first.
And a large enough sampling over there at first base now to say he is a much better offensive player when playing first. Career average about 340.
It's grounded foul. It's 0-1 on Corey Seager. Quickly 0-2.
Less moisture today, but more wind. The flags are howling here by the bay.
And beyond those flags, it doesn't exactly look clear. 1 ball, 2 strikes on Seager.
Not as dark coming in, but does look quite ominous as far as maybe a weather change in our future.
Count evens up on Seager. Got a base hit last night and now has at least one in 19 consecutive starts. '31-year-old out of the Dominican Republic, Johnny Cueto, rocks and deals a 2-2. And gets Seager with a changeup the same way that he got Chris Taylor. 2 out.
I really think you can thank Johnny Cueto for all the different deliveries we're seeing around the big leagues, and it's almost become an epidemic with relievers. Some starters are picking up on it, but more relievers.
We were talking about that pregame. It's like he's patient zero.
Pretty close.
Oh, the tinkering of this era. Louis Tiant back in the day was a guy that Cueto has pulled some things from, and there just weren't as many guys that followed Tiant's lead like there have been Cueto. Who deals a 1-0 to Justin Turner, and it's grounded foul.
Johnny Cueto is sorry, Joe. Johnny Cueto really has taken it to a new level, though. It's almost like, you know, Louis Tiant was doing the basic steps, but he's like a Broadway dancer.
It's almost like he hits Turner here, and the Dodgers get a 2-out base runner, but it's almost like you can see him thinking some nights, like, how weird can I get with this? How many different ways can I contort my body before throwing?
He's got the hip shift with the delay, and then he's got the shoulder shimmy where he goes back and forth. That's more of the twisting motion he uses right here as he plugs Justin, but later in the game, I'm sure we'll see the shoulder shimmy where he kind of tilts him back and forth from home to second base.
We've seen the rocking chair. Calls it the rocking chair. Already seen that a couple times. First one to Bellinger is bunted along third. And no play for Orlando Calixte. Bunt single for Cody Bellinger.
With the context of the Dodger losing streak, if he pops this up and it's an out, it's a panic move. But if he lays it down and gets a base hit, it's a very nice baseball move, and it definitely was that. Perfect bunt.
His very first hit as a big leaguer was a swinging bunt in this ballpark in that same direction. So Turner gets hit, Bellinger with an infield single, and Puig with a first inning at bat. Absolutely crushed his 25th home run of the year last night. Give the Dodgers a short-lived lead in the 5th inning, and a game that went back and forth in the middle innings, but Giants eventually pulled away, winning 8-6. Game that ended at 2:11 local time. A lot of people on the East Coast getting up and around for work. 2 balls, no strikes.
Yasiel has really moved into a place where he's an extension of the core of this offense. You are not surprised now when he produces, and you're actually expecting a quality at bat every time he steps into the box. The growth from an 8-hitter that was just going to hit for power and low average to a swing change to production so consistent that he moved up in the order, and now right now the way the Dodger offense is going, he's one of the key pieces.
With 2 on and 2 out, he takes ball 3. His on-base percentage in the second half is about 65 points higher than it was in the first half. You go back to that game-winning home run in the first game of the second half with the Dodgers down to their final strike in Miami. They said it at the time, and I think they'd say it now. That had a chance to be a seminal moment in Puig's career, and he's continued to hit since. Takes a low strike, count goes full.
He pitch cast on that 3-1 fastball. Cueto using the changeup to get his outs in this inning. Here maybe setting up a 3-2 changeup with that fastball.
Turner and Bellinger both take off as Puig strikes out on a change, as you forecasted. All 3 strikeouts come on that changeup. Clayton Kershaw saved the day, my friend, to the bottom of the first in a scoreless game. the disabled list. 6 shutout innings his first time, then struggled his last time, but in a spot here following a Dodger loss where he's been so good this year. 9-2 with a .180 earned run average, as we see on our Land Rover Performance Spotlight. Yeah, those 6 shutout innings against San Diego and showed no rust. That's why it was so surprising to see him give up those 4 runs on 6 hits against the Rockies and only last 3 2/3.
He is serious from the first day of spring training. The side work, the playing catch, the working out. Then the regular season starts, and he is serious and raising the bar again. I will bet you that he can't raise the bar any higher than what he wants to do here tonight.
And he has been so good against the Giants throughout his career. In fact, the second best ERA against a single opponent in National League history. Only Sandy Koufax against the New York Mets better against an individual team. That's a little blooper that Chase Utley runs under, and 1 pitch, 1 out to get Gorkis Hernandez. Hernandez, the leadoff man in this lineup, with Joe Panik to hit second. And then it'll be Hunter Pence in the middle third of the order. Posey, Hundley, and Austin Slater, the rookie. Orlando Calixte at third, and Kelby Tomlinson at short. Kind of looks like a spring training lineup. Joe Panik. Strike 1.
In some ways, you can put all the veterans in there if you want, if you're the Giants and Bruce Bochy, but their numbers are probably not that good. So the young guys and some people that maybe Clayton hasn't faced as much might just have just as good a chance.
Yeah, so they put Gorkis Hernandez in center instead of Denard Span. Denard Span 0 for 13 lifetime against Kershaw. It's outside 2-1. I think a surprising one is that they have Kelby Tomlinson in instead of Brandon Crawford. Not that Crawford's been any good, but Kelby Tomlinson 0 for 14 against Kershaw. That's a strike, and it's 2-2. Full count on Panik. And the Dodgers starting the night with a 3.5 game lead over the Washington Nationals for the best record in the NL and for home field advantage throughout the National League postseason. That's down the left field line. Curtis Granderson is there. 2 up, 2 down. Dodger defense brought to you by Keck Medicine of USC. And after roaming center field last night, Cody Bellinger back at first.
Right-hander on the mound with Johnny Cueto, so you were maybe thinking that Adrian Gonzalez would get another start at first and Cody Bellinger would still be in the outfield, but Dave Roberts elects to go with Cody at first, giving Granderson another opportunity in left field.
Hunter Pence with 2 gone takes strike 1. By the way, the Nationals just went final and were shut out by the Braves 8-0. So the lead back to 4 full games for the Dodgers for the top seed. Quickly 0-2.
Tip of the hat to the Cleveland Indians, who won their 20th in a row today.
Tying them with the Oakland A's in 2002 for the longest winning streak in American League history. 20 in a row for the Indians. Fastball away, 1-2. Suddenly those mighty Astros are looking at being the 2 seed because the Indians have taken over the best record behind Corey Kluber tonight in the AL. Kershaw's 1-2. A breaking ball that's popped up. 3 little pop flies. This one caught by Chris Taylor with Puig crossing in front of him and probably providing somewhat of a distraction. In San Francisco, we're off and rolling in a scoreless game. On to the second. The Dodgers and the Giants have played 14 times. Each team has won 7. Same can be said about Cueto against Kershaw. Split in the first 2 meetings head-to-head this year. Curtis Granderson leads off the second and takes ball 1. Out of those 14 matchups between these teams, 4 of them have gone to extras. 7 of the 14 have been decided by just 1 run. So even in a year where the Dodgers have the best record in the league, Bruce Bochy's team has the second worst in baseball. They are in a dead heat. Three strikeouts in the first for Cueto, all on changeups. Shakes twice and comes home with a 1-2. Fastball fouled off. Granderson 0 for 2 last night. Had a strikeout to start the game. Waited, what, 3.5, 4 hours before his next at bat. Puts this one in play. At second, Joe Panic. And Granderson the first out.
Outs on changeup from Johnny Cueto, and you see over the years how he has started to decline that velocity, and that would then enhance his fastball. So as he ages and the fastball velocity goes down, he tries to keep the differential between the 2 pitches by getting the velocity on the changeup down.
That's cool. They got the dreadlocks on the K's. Grandal. Battling through a 1 for 26 September. That's high and inside, and it's 2-0. A couple of walks last night, though, encouraging for Grandal. Dave Roberts saying that I think the biggest issue in Yasmani struggles is that he chases and opens up that zone too much. So to see him leave some borderline pitches last night, an encouraging thing.
Yeah, the slump has gone on long enough for Yasmani, and to a point where Dave Roberts is being asked specifically about his catcher in his media scrum. You know it's gone on for a while when all of a sudden articles and paragraphs are going to be written about it.
Cueto pitches 3-1, and Grandal watches strike 2. Austin Barnes making the majority of the starts against left-handed pitching now. Really fascinating number you told me today is that against right-handed pitching, Barnes is the #1 hitter in the National League
in baseball. With at least 50 at bats, 365 against right-handed pitchers.
That's a walk. First one issued by Cueto. Grandal's 3rd of the series. So yeah, you've got Barnes starting in what has turned into pretty close to a strict platoon against left-handers only, sitting against right-handers, but there is some evidence there, in a limited sample size admittedly, some evidence that he deserves more ABs against righties.
Yeah, he is 31 for 85 to get that 365 average there.
One on, one out. Chase Utley, strike 1.
Chase already made an impact in this game. That routine pop fly to start the game for Clayton Kershaw, he had an excellent jump on that, and if all of a sudden that falls in, he doesn't see it right away or get the jump, Dodgers could get that attitude of, here we go again.
No batting practice on the field today with the long night last night, but that didn't keep Chase Utley from heading out there early. So the only guy out there is at second base taking grounders. One and 2. Kind of a funky thing last night for Utley, where he started because there was a right-handed starter for the Giants, but because of the rain delay, he was out after one batter. And Dave Roberts went to Logan Forsythe once Bruce Bochy brought on a left-handed pitcher. Cueto has another strikeout and a changeup, 2 away.
Ty Block came in the game after the delay, so Logan Forsythe was inserted in there. Johnny Cueto really with an outstanding arm action on the changeup here tonight. Take a look at the Morongo Casino slow-mo cam. You slow the changeup down, it might not get there. A lot of spin on it too for that arm action.
Faces Kershaw now, and up high with ball 1. Kershaw, the longest at bat of his career in his last outing, 11 pitches. Change up for a strike, 1-1.
These two have gone toe to toe this year 2 other times, and the team splitting those games.
Dodgers won't see Bumgarner in this series. He started Sunday against the White Sox and got lit up. White Sox scored 6 runs on 10 hits off of him. Grandal at first with 2 out, and it's 3-1 on Kershaw.
Dodgers ended up with first and second, 2 out in the first inning. Clayton looking to build that situation right here for Chris Taylor, who's on deck.
It's a walk, and they do. Second walk of the inning issued by Cueto. This one comes to the opposing pitcher, and Chris Taylor does get a 2-out opportunity.
Chris in a little bit of a slide right now. His average has dipped below 300. He has been good all year, as we saw with that graphic, with runners in scoring position.
That slide you're talking about, it corresponds almost identically with this skid for the Dodgers. Hitting .212 in his last 17 games, and the Dodgers have lost 16 of those. Engine at the top. Nobody knew coming into the year how valuable he'd be. And it's not that Chris Taylor's struggling so the Dodgers are losing, but it certainly hurts when your leadoff guy is not doing what he's done all year.
The 4 components up there at the top of the order that are all there together now have been inconsistent for a lot of different reasons. Some in performance, some in from an injury standpoint. Some have gotten a little cold. I'd say that would be more Taylor and Bellinger, and then
injury for Bellinger too.
Yep.
Combination there.
And Seager with his elbow not being able to start, and then Justin Turner with a little bit of a cold spell. If they can all come out of the funk together at the right time, it would be very good for the offense.
1 ball, 2 strikes.
Last 4 games, they've gotten 4 runs, 5 runs, 1 run, and 6 runs, but still gotten beaten all 4. And that would tell you that, you know, if you go to that stat of when the Dodgers score 4 or more, and you look at the record, if they don't get any wins with 3 out of those 4, that tells you that the pitching has been a problem.
Cueto got Taylor with a changeup in the first, goes to the fastball here and misses. 2-2. Dodgers left 11 on base in the 8-6 loss last night. They left 2 on in the first inning and have 2 on here with 2 out and a 2-2 count on Taylor. know what it is. It's deuces wild with 2 on and 2 out and a 2-2. On the corner, strike 3. So Cueto gets Taylor to finish the inning, and the Dodgers have stranded 4 over the first 2.
Nomar Garcia-Parra, Jerry Hairston Jr. We hope you're enjoying Dodger baseball on KTLA, presented by Spectrum. Let's look at the Dodgers calendar. After Wednesday's series finale, it's an off day, and then a huge weekend series against the Nationals, and then 4 games in Philadelphia. Sign up for Spectrum TV. It's the best ticket in town. Right now, back to Joe and Oral.
Okay, John, to the bottom of the second in this one. The Dodgers and the Giants are scoreless. Clayton Kershaw with a 1-2-3 first inning. Well, the middle part of the Giants order coming up. A generational kind of a matchup to start this inning. Kershaw, Posey. The first pitch, a fly ball to right. 2 innings and 2 first pitch outs for Kershaw.
Dodger fans, do you know a standout high school senior athlete? Then nominate them for a chance to be named a Spectrum Sports Championship Drive Scholar Athlete and receive a $2,500 college scholarship. Go to SpectrumChamp.com now for more information.
Kershaw has the first 4 outs on 12 pitches, which is an encouraging thing when you consider how inefficient he was in his last start. Needed 86 pitches to go 3 2/3. So what's that, about 7.5 pitches per out so far in this one, 3 pitches per out. Nick Hundley, strike 1.
Clayton won't tell you that he's going to concentrate on that in his next outing, but there is a propensity of evidence over the course of his career that when he has a rough start like that, that he comes back out and really attacks. We saw that when he hurt himself over in Australia, beat the Diamondbacks over there, came back with a little back issue, was on the DL, and he knew he was on a pitch count. It was attack after attack after attack to keep the pitch count down and go as deep as he possibly can go.
Got his first strikeout of the night, using a slider to sit down Hundley. And so Austin Slater, 24-year-old rookie, sees Kershaw for the first time. And on the first pitch, he grounds a base hit into center. A lot like Christian Arroyo, who faced Kershaw in his first week in the majors and singled in his first at-bat. Might have even been the first pitch that he saw. Slater does that the first time he sees Clayton Kershaw. Giants have their first base runner here with 2 out in the second. And up comes Orlando Calixte. Handful of games with the Royals in 2015. Spent last year in the minors. Signed a minor league contract with the Giants this offseason and was called up a couple of weeks ago. Or a little more than a week ago now. He's ahead 2-0.
When you're getting outs as quick as Clayton Kershaw was and should continue, it is different to have a little rhythm change where all of a sudden you're battling somebody from behind in the count.
Fly ball to left center field, playable for either Granderson or Taylor. Chris Taylor's got it, and that's that in the second. 2-out base hit for Slater, but no damage to the third. No score. MLB.TV. You can watch every out-of-market regular season game live, and you get a free subscription to At-Bat Premium, the #1 app for live baseball. Blackout and other restrictions apply. Visit MLB.TV for details. Joe Orel and Alana back in San Francisco, where Corey Seager will start the third inning. That one's way up, ball one. Dodgers opportunities in each of the first 2 innings against Cueto, leaving 2 in the first and in the second. And that changeup has been really good so far.
In some ways, it doesn't look like he's consciously taking the speed off. It looks like he has perfected spinning it more. So taking the arm speed that's tremendous and spinning the baseball, which is taking the velocity off and giving it a lot more movement than I'm used to seeing.
Use that changeup to strike Seager out in the first inning. On a 1-2, goes fastball and misses badly. Corey Seager starting the third for the Dodgers and offering another K for Cueto. That is 6 already.
Been using the changeup an awful lot. That's a fastball and just gets caught in between. Pitchers duel so far, but as far as the pitch counts, Kershaw is definitely winning that. 51 here for Cueto. Now 52, and Kershaw with only 19, so you got to expect the way it's going right now, he'll be around a lot longer than Johnny Cueto.
Won only 5 innings Wednesday against the Rockies his last time out. Gave up just 1 run, but didn't have great length. Floats that one in for a strike. 0-2. Cueto got his first win since June in that game. It's the same order that battered Kershaw around in his last start. Turner protects, stays at 0-2. Now Johnny Cueto signed a 6-year, $120 million contract before last season. That was very good his first year. Started the All-Star game, had a sub-3 ERA, and was the reason the Cubs were so scared of having to go back to play a Game 5 in Chicago. Cueto was teed up to start that. That's a ball that's 1-2. Of course, they wound up blowing a lead late. You never got to see Cueto in Game 5. The reason I tell you all that about last year is to compare it to this year, where he has the worst ERA since his rookie season, around 4.5. And the reason that's important is that Johnny Cueto has an opt-out in that 6-year deal following this season. The way he's performed so far, probably not smart to opt out. But there's some thought around here that if he finishes strong, he will test the open market.
There's a lot of research being done by his agent, I'm sure, understanding what the market would be like before they pull the trigger on the opt.
Hunter Pence runs out of room. About $20 million a year. Free agent class of pitchers not great next year. Jake Arrieta, the top guy. Yu Darvish in that collection as well. Full count.
Sometimes the market moves faster than your decline, so it is better to opt out. So you just don't know with all the forces in action. And like you said, if it's a shallow starting pitcher market as far as talent, that would upgrade your ability to get a better contract.
You think he can get better than 4 years, $80 million after the season he's having right now?
I would think there'd probably be some other factors for him too, that, you know, is he enjoying this time in San Francisco? Is winning becoming more important, and he views the Giants as maybe not turning that corner soon enough for him? So there might be some other factors other than money.
Turner muscles one into shallow center field, and a running catch for Gorkis Hernandez.
I think a lot of people think that the contract negotiations always come down to money, and I can assure you that it's not always money. Once a guy signs and it's for a ton of money and it's definitely a raise, you don't ever hear about what the other offers are, and if they turn down more money because they wanted to be in a particular location for their family or a team they wanted to play for because they think more friends there or more opportunity to win. It's a king's ransom no matter where you sign usually, though.
Bellinger flexes one into right center field. The Dodgers have 2 hits tonight. Both belong to Bellinger. Swinging bunt, and now a little teardrop into right center. It was not a swinging bunt, beg your pardon. It was an actual bunt for a hit his first time.
All kinds of different times over there that Cody Bellinger and George Lombard are going to get from Cueto as far as times to the plate. If you're thinking about stealing here with 2 outs and Yasiel up, you're going to have to pick the right delivery because he has a very quick delivery. He can also do a little of the shimmying and the shaking, but you're not going to know which one he's going to use.
I had a Puig going too.
Haven't seen a lot of pitch outs around the league this year, so even in an 0-2 count, 2 outs, if you feel like going on first move, you can go.
Had a hanger, couldn't get it, and fouled it off.
Big time groan and little friendly combative exchange between Yasiel and Johnny Cueto. They both enjoy that emotional response to a hanging changeup, but then a foul ball.
As you see Cueto's response a moment ago, saying to himself, wow, wow, wow. Down the air to right. Panic's out, still going, and that ball falls in. Bellinger hangs on at third, and Puig dives into second with what will be ruled a double. But neither one of those guys looked sure at any moment. Joe Panik kept on going and going and going, and I'm not sure Penn saw it.
As high as this is in the air, it has to be caught. And I think both of them assumed that the other one was going to get it as far out there, and that's what it looks like. Hunter Pence is the captain in charge on that play, and he pulls up, and Panik is in a place where he is kind of saying, I'm waiting for him to call me off. Oh my gosh, he didn't call me off. Dodgers end up with second and third, and the benefit of a mental error by 2 guys.
Can they take advantage? Second and third, 2 out. Third time in as many innings they've had 2 men on. Can Curtis Granderson be the first man to cash in? He's homered against Cueto 3 times in his career. Here he takes ball 1.
Dodgers 0 for 2 with runners in scoring position so far tonight. This is their 3rd opportunity. First and second, now second and third.
Good take by Granderson. Ball 2.
Throughout the year, we have talked so much about the length and the depth of this Dodger roster, and that the offense, it just keeps coming at you. Well, the next 2 hitters are both in huge slumps, looking to lengthen the lineup and get some production if they can bust out of it.
Granderson up there now with a 2-0 count. After him, it's Grandal. Cueto, really, it's who would you rather face? Both to come up left-handed, and like you said, both searching.
Johnny Cueto in these situations where he looked like his back's against the wall and he's kind of floundering out there, he likes to continue to play with you. I wouldn't be surprised if you get a changeup.
Instead, he cuts it inside, and it's 3-0.
First cutter he's thrown of the night. That's why it took him so long to get to the signs, and it took a meeting for him to tell Posey what he wanted to throw.
Three and one.
And I should say Hundley. Old habit.
Yeah, I was going to say, I don't blame you. Understandable. Can the Dodgers take advantage of the defensive misplay? They've loaded them up. Curtis Granderson walks, and Yasmani Grandal heads to the plate.
One of the main topics in the manager's scrum was the bat of Yasmani Grandal, and one of the main topics now here in the top of the third is Yasmani Grandal.
With Bellinger at third, Puig at second, and Granderson at first. And Cueto in trouble. Strike one. Cueto's issued 3 walks, and walks have been the way Grandal's made his money the last few days. The pitch count already climbing way up there. A check swing on strike 2.
That was a borderline strike. The first one was a cutter in. It was a really good pitch. That was a 2-seamer trying to leak back over the plate and made it.
1-2.
Slowed all the Dodger hitters down with the changeup the first time around the order. Now has been showing them more fastballs in and cutters.
Good stop by Nick Hundley. 2 balls, 2 strikes.
It was an outstanding stop. That was a lengthy bounce to get in front of.
Next pitch will be the 32nd of this inning for Johnny Cueto. Dodgers without a hard hit ball. Bellinger had a soft single into right center. Puig turned to pop up into a double with a misplay between Panik and Pence in right. After the Granderson walk, 2-2 on Grandal. Got it. Dodgers have left 7 over the first 3 innings. No score to the bottom of the third.
Brought to you by the all-new 2017 Chrysler Pacifica, the new benchmark of minivans. And by Jack in the Box. Come try the new $4.99 Smoky Jack Burger Combo, a small fries and a small drink, limited time only.
Dodgers have 7 base runners over the first 3 innings, but nothing to show for it. Clayton Kershaw good so far, just 1 base runner over 2 shutout innings.
A little bit of an emotional drain as a starting pitcher when you watch your offense struggle to get those runs across the plate. You feel like you're right on the edge of an adrenaline rush and taking the mound with a lead, and you go back out there and it's pitch for pitch again with a chance to fall behind.
Facing Kelby Tomlinson leading off this 3rd inning. Falling behind 2-0. This is why it's interesting. Tomlinson's getting the start. 0 for 14 lifetime against Kershaw. And he lifts this one to deep left field. Granderson back. My goodness. On cue, clubs a home run for his first career hit against Kershaw and for the game's first run.
The Volkswagen replay of a giant home run is not fun, but thank you, Volkswagen, but no thank you, Tomlinson. It stings even more when you've left 7 on in 3 innings, been handed a rally and can't capitalize. Again, they fall behind and will need to respond.
Johnny Cueto.
I don't know about you, but my head dropped as it left the ballpark. I'm like, not again.
Bunted foul, 1-2. It had me double checking the notes on Tomlinson lifetime against Kershaw. We're reading off the graphic that he's 0 for 14. And on the next pitch, baseball happens.
We've had too much baseball happening lately.
Kershaw gets Cueto his second K. 1 out in the 3rd.
Time and time again, Clayton Kershaw has picked up the Dodgers. Time and time again, he has put them on his shoulders and carried them. The offense is going to have to help a little bit tonight.
Second time through the order. Hernandez put a soft line drive on the first pitch that he saw. It was caught at second by Chase Utley. Buzzed him inside, ball 1. That, by the way, was Kelby Tomlinson's first home run of the year.
Just throw a little salt in the wound right there. Just looking that one up.
Tapped to second. Chase Utley charges, flips with his glove, and it gets him. Good play by Chase Utley, who was out there a couple of hours before the game taking ground balls. 2 out.
Very smooth play. Just like Johnny Cueto's multiple deliveries have become part of baseball's culture. Flipping it with your glove has become part of the culture. That used to be, in my day, kind of a little bit more of a hot dog move. Now it's more conventional and something that's used around the second base bag, and any time you need a quick exchange, even going to first.
With the bases empty and 2 out, Joe Panik rips one just off of Utley's glove for a base hit. Hunter Pence flied to center his first time. Kershaw misses with the first pitch, 1-0.
D-backs and the Rockies are tied at 2 in the middle of the 5th in their game.
Big bouncer deep in the hole at short. Seager, long throw, not in time. Pence beats it out. The inning keeps going.
Infield hit for Hunter Pence. Corey lays back on it a little, but I'm not sure how else he could have played it. If he comes charging in, he's going to make a risky catch. Instead stays back and relies on the strength of his arm, and just a hair late.
Two on, two out, and Posey the hitter. Fly to right on the first pitch that he saw last inning. Overthrown by Kershaw here, ball one. Posey riding an 11-game hitting streak and hitting .425 during that stretch. One of his best offensive seasons, and that's saying something. At least in the average and the on-base percentage. Power numbers, RBI total not where it has been in previous years. It's a strike 1-1. Of course, the RBI totals contingent on guys getting on for him, and they haven't had much of that. Panik at second and Pence at first. Kershaw delivers 1-1, and Posey lifts it to right. That sends Puig back onto the warning track to catch it and retire the side. But a leadoff home run from Kelby Tomlinson, who was 0 for his previous 14 against Kershaw, has the Giants on the board first.
We're all certainly waiting to see how 2017 plays itself out. We're already thinking ahead to 2018. Major League Baseball announcing the preliminary schedule today for all 30 teams. And if you're a Dodger fan, take note to some of these dates. The regular season beginning at the end of March this season against these very same San Francisco Giants. That is opening day for the Dodgers. Of course, April 15th against the Diamondbacks, always Jackie Robinson Day. Interleague games, the Dodgers will be playing the AL West. And if holidays are on your mind, Dodger Stadium is the place to be with all of the home games. And don't forget, if you want to get on that ticket wait list, this is how you do it. Dodgers.com/season tickets to sign up for the 2018 Dodger season seat or mini plan wait list. Joe?
Okay, Alana, it's going to be weird having the season open on a Thursday in March. Of course, with the new CBA taking effect as far as the scheduling goes, there'll be more off days, so the season spread out some, starting a few days early than normal. Chase Utley leads off the fourth for the Dodgers in a 1-0 hole here in game 2 of this series. Trying to even the series at a game apiece, trying to snap the 11-game skid. The only win during the 17-game stretch was one started by Kershaw. The Dodgers got him only 1 run. That was in San Diego a couple of weekends ago. Johnny Cueto's 1-0. Ball 2. Johnny Cueto, for much of his childhood in the Dominican Republic, was just an outfielder with a great throwing arm. Get a lot of outfield assists, and then a coach recommended that he give pitching a try. That wasn't until he was 16 years old, though. That one's outside, and it's 3-1. First teams that looked at him told him he was too small to be a major league pitcher. So he said, I'm going to try to be like Pedro Martinez. It didn't stop him. And plus, Johnny said being an outfielder was much harder. He liked hitting when he was a kid, but by the time he became a teenager, thought it was too much running. High drive right field. Chase Utley has tied this game with a splash shot solo home run.
Denard Span changed the splash hit yesterday. Chase Utley's home run will only change the run total for the Dodgers. They don't count the opposing home runs on their splash hit billboard, but that was definitely one and launched a long way.
Utley's 8th of the season. Now Kershaw bangs one into left center, and it gets by Austin Slater. Kershaw will stand at second. And look at the emotion from Kershaw.
Works hard every day at his hitting. Is constantly trying to get better in every facet of the game. And I love the fact that he showed that emotion to his teammates. Gives them permission to cut loose and maybe break this spell.
Nobody out. Chris Taylor, the hitter, shows bunt and then fouls it off. Something you don't see much from the Dodgers, but Dave Roberts doing whatever it takes to give his team something to feel good about. A chance at a lead here in the 4th, whatever it's going to take to get it.
Desperate times for desperate measures. Looking to get a little of that mojo back. Really looking to get a lot of that mojo back.
Grounded foul, 1-2.
Silver Fox comes through.
Albert Suarez in the bullpen for San Francisco. That pitch count almost near 90 now for Cueto. On the ground is short. Kershaw headed for third. The throw's wide, and he's in there safely. Good things starting to pile up in this 4th inning.
An everyday player makes that move at second base. He understands where the shortstop is playing, and when the shortstop has to break to his left, if you can get yourself on the other side of the ball, you take the risk. Clayton understanding base running, not having the wheels that an everyday player usually has, but understands he can get there and slides to the inside part of the base. And boy, what a very nice heads-up play.
But Dave Roberts and the trainer Nathan Lucero out to look at Kershaw.
It was a little bit of an awkward slide to the inside and then reach back to the base. Maybe he felt a little tweak or a little stiffness in something, but if you see him change his body language at all, you are going to come out and check on the big fella. He slide as far as he could to the inside and then rolls back over and grabs the base with the pitching hand.
It's ruled a fielder's choice, and they're at the corners with nobody out for Corey Seager. Goes after the first one, sends a high fly ball to deep center field. Hernandez back with room, but the Dodgers have taken the lead. The productive out from Chris Taylor puts Clayton Kershaw in position where that ball brings him home. And Chris Taylor also advances on the play.
Heads up base running the whole inning. The Silver Fox starts it off with the home run. Clayton Kershaw to second base on a blown ball in the lights by Tomlinson. Heads up base running to get the third. A deep sacrifice fly, advances 2 runners and scores a run.
So a good response by the Dodgers right after the Giants get the first run and the Tomlinson homer. Still only 1 out. With Taylor at second, Justin Turner looks at ball 1.
Good that there's only 1 out right here. Clayton will have plenty of time to catch his breath. They try and pitch Justin away with strikes and in off the plate. They do not like making mistakes down the middle or to the inner half with Justin, the way he can lift the ball.
Two and one. You know, coming into this game, during the 17-game slide for the Dodgers, they had led at the end of only 13 of the 154 innings played. There's still baseball to be played in this inning, but they find themselves in front for the first time tonight. At least tying home run, and then Seager's go-ahead sac fly. Turner fouls it off 2-2.
You're on the bench right now. You can't help but be excited. Your breathing gets a little shallower. You get a little pumped up. You got the adrenaline. You're rocking back and forth, and you're saying, okay, maybe it's changing. Everybody on the top step. Shoulder to shoulder, elbow to elbow, trying to make it happen and get a W.
Sure is crowded in there. Got in on Turner's hands. We'll do it again. That dugout looks like September with the pullovers and a bunch of them. Turner takes strike 3.
You got to vent right here, but you got to stay in the game. Pitchcast says it is just barely there. Wow, that side angle makes it look high right there.
Those are the ones you typically hear the barking from the dugouts on.
Exactly.
And put Bellinger on intentionally here to bring up Puig.
Up 2-1, but they are still 0 for 5 with runners in scoring position. The Silver Fox with the home run and the other run on a sac fly.
Puig 1 for 2 tonight. Fly ball turned into a double as last time. Here he's up 1-0. Johnny Cueto, 7 Ks. He's been betrayed by his defense partly. Austin Slater missed playing a ball that Clayton Kershaw hit, and 2 batters later, the Dodgers had the lead. Rides inside, ball 2. Change for a strike.
It's a good pitch right there.
It's worth begging the question who he was looking into the dugout to. Turner Ward away from the team the next 2 nights. Dodgers letting him go home to Mobile, Alabama for a daddy-daughter function. His daughter a senior in high school. Alana tells us it's Kenley Jansen that he's having that interaction with. Saw that in the dugout earlier. Cue shot foul, 3-2.
If Yasiel goes deep, I wonder if he's going to kiss Kenley.
That's a valid question. 100th pitch of the night for Johnny Cueto comes with 2 out in the 4th inning. Runners will get a head start on this 3-2 that Puig grounds foul. Will do it again, and we check in with Alana.
Ongoing thing between Yasiel Puig and Kenley Jansen, not just in a dugout and at-bat situation. This happens in post-game interviews, pre-game interviews as well. The 2 of them constantly jawing back and forth. Right now, Kenley was yelling at Yasiel, "Vamos, vamos," which means let's go, let's go. And Yasiel stopped for a second and kind of gave him the glaring eye like, I'm trying, let's go.
It looks like a judging father there.
That kind of accountability in a friendly way is really good to help you stay locked in. I know you're not there by yourself and keep that edge.
Taylor and Bellinger both take off, and Puig lifts the ball to left center field. Slater's back on it. That ball is off the top of the wall. Puig's on his way to second with a ringing 2-run double.
Here's our Buick GMC replay. The wind fooled Yasiel, but the pitch didn't. He crushed this, and this is out of everywhere except for here tonight. A big park with a little wind fighting it, but Kenley Jansen. Poppy's not here. That would be Turner Ward, but Big Brother's here to watch.
To watch the Dodgers strike for 4 to chase Johnny Cueto out of this game in the 4th inning. Get through 4 innings against the Dodgers, who have struck for 4 here in the 4th. Albert Suarez comes on, and Curtis Granderson looks at a strike. Who's in, who's out, brought to you by In-N-Out. Cueto leaves, and Suarez comes on for the 16th time this season, and the number's not pretty for the second-year big leaguer from Venezuela. One ball and 1 strike. After a frustrating first few innings, the Dodgers able to cash in here. They'd stranded 7 runners over the first 3. Two and 1. Strike 2. Not quite the final line on Cueto. Runner at second, his responsibility.
Early, he looked like he was really on his game, but as the game went on, he fell behind a lot of hitters.
Puig was running on a 2-2. Stays that way with a foul by first.
Got a little gimp going on. And as he stood at home plate and watched what he thought was going to be a home run, and then it hit off the wall and he had to bust it. Some quick acceleration. I hope that late hustle didn't all of a sudden hurt something. If he would have gradually strided that out of the box and increased his speed generally, he would have been fine, I think.
Granderson rolls it over to first. Suarez to the bag to finish the inning. The Dodgers strike for 4 in the 4th. It starts with Chase Utley, his leadoff home run against Johnny Cueto. A splash hit. Second one in as many nights in this series. And then Puig with a 2-run double. The Dodgers in front 4-1 to the bottom of the 4th. Right now, Clayton Kershaw gets 4 more runs of support. 95-0 lifetime. The Dodgers have gotten him 4 over the first 4 innings in this game. A 4-1 lead. Chase Utley started it with a home run, and Yasiel Puig finished it with a near home run that instead was a 2-run double. Still grimacing some, but let's be honest, how often do we see Yasiel animated about something? Nick Conley to lead off this 4th. Huntley rips the first pitch that he sees, and it's by Granderson. Leadoff double.
Constant theme with hitters around the league when they face Clayton Kershaw is to ambush him on a fastball in. Clayton has done an amazing job this year, really establishing the fact that he won't default to that pitch, but right there that sequence played true and only made a nice swing.
Giants have 5 hits against Kershaw, one of them from this guy here, Austin Slater. Grounded the first pitch that he saw back up the middle. Slater had a hand in that big inning for the Dodgers. Missed playing a line drive off Kershaw's bat. They went to the wall, wound up being a double.
Looked like he lost that in the lights at the end because everything was there. The timing, the position, the glove was approximately in the right place, and all of a sudden it's just like the eyes lost the ball.
That perfect height. Good luck telling that to Slater that it was the perfect height. You get what I mean. It's a tough outfield to play here. Usually that's because of the wind, and there are no flags that are trustworthy. Dave Roberts played the outfield here for years, whether that was as a Giant or as a visiting player. Ground ball to third. Turner stabs it with a backhand, throws high, and Bellinger can't bring it down. He immediately points into the dugout and says, take a look to see if I got the tag on him while he was going by.
Justin Turner, an amazing grab on the hop at third base, and then some hops over at first base by Cody Bellinger. Justin knows he needs to get rid of it quickly. Just gets a little too much elevation on it, but boy, Cody might have felt the tag, but was it in time? Ooh, it is so close. Clayton jumping along with Cody on the mound. They're going to take a listen to New York as they watch the replay to see what the call is there, but the call here is safe. Boy, he might be out by like a half an inch.
It's amazing how high Bellinger is there. Guy's a freak. That was fast. Already pulling it off.
Wow.
He's out. That becomes an incredible play on both ends. Justin Turner and Cody Bellinger.
Well, he looks like an NBA star going up for a rebound, and boy, he does get him right there. Great angle. An amazing play on both corners for the Dodgers.
Brings up Orlando Calixte. Ball one. We've talked about how the different phases of the game have kind of taken turns being the scapegoat during this stretch for the Dodgers. The defense has not been particularly sharp. Justin Turner with an incredible stop. And while his throw is high, Cody Bellinger able to climb the ladder to get it and get the first out of the inning. Fly ball to right. Long way to go for Puig. He's under it, and Calixte's the second out.
We have to just show that replay if we have it. Yasiel Puig's throw on this fly ball is absolutely amazing. There is no runner going to third, but this throw is Hall of Fame caliber. Take a look at this. Oh my gosh.
Just because he can. So here's Tomlinson, who homered against Kershaw his last time. And bangs a base hit into center this time. They give the wave to Hundley. Taylor's throw, spot on, doing his best Puig impression. And the inning is over. Well, it's probably not fair to Chris to say that, because he leads the team in outfield assists this year, and his first year as an outfielder. Some things going right, a string of good things. A 4-1 lead to the 5th in San Francisco. Is brought to you by your Southern California Toyota dealers. Toyota's clearance countdown is on. Get huge savings on the last of the 2017 Corollas. Back at AT&T Park, where the Dodgers, on the strength of a 4-run fourth, have a 4-1 lead. We go to the 5th inning. Yasmani Grandal to lead things off. Struck out with the bases loaded his last time, walked his first time. Suarez delivers ball 1. Strike 1. Curls in for a strike. 2 balls, 2 strikes.
Yasmani in the midst of some exciting things happening on defense, hoping some of that would leak over here to the offensive side of the game for himself.
Digs it out in the air to center field. Gorkas Hernandez there, but that's as well as we've seen Yasmani barrel the ball up in a while. 1 away in the 5th. Here comes Chase Utley. We look at our top tier play of the game, brought to you by Arco. His home run to start the scoring for the Dodgers, splashing it into McCovey Cove.
Clayton Kershaw on the mound, considered the stopper. I'll tell you what, every once in a while at the beginning of the year, Dave Roberts considered Chase Utley the stopper on the offensive side, somebody that could come off and spark the offense, and he did that here tonight.
In case you're wondering, that was the 4th splash hit from a Dodger in the history of this ballpark since it opened in 2000. First one from a visiting player came from Todd Hundley, 2000, when he was in a Dodger uniform. Didn't happen again until 2011. Deanna Navarro did it for the Dodgers. And then last year, Jock Peterson. So add Chase Utley to that list. A couple of current Dodgers have done it here, but with old teams. Grandal did it when he was with the Padres. Granderson did it when he was with the Mets. Suarez home with a 2-1 that Utley takes in the dirt. 3 balls, 1 strike. Fly to left center field. This is playable for Gorkis Hernandez. And Albert Suarez retires the first 2 Dodgers here in the 5th. Clayton Kershaw in some ways setting the tone for what happened over the remainder of that inning with his double and with the emotion that he showed when he got into second. By the way, one thing we didn't mention was that it was good to see Kershaw go back to the mound seemingly pain-free after the training staff had to come out to look at him after his slide. One and two.
Last time we were in the top of the 5th in a Dodger game, it was today. It was 12:15 at night.
Jeez. Smacked to short. Tomlinson. Inning over. Halfway home in San Francisco. Are we halfway home to finally seeing a Dodger W? Seems like it's been forever. fourth inning, and we welcome inside Joe Davis and Orr Hershiser, and it sure is good to have something good to talk about. I know this game is far from over, but it's nice to see the Dodgers string something together there.
It sure is, and things are completely in order now that they've gotten 4 runs. Clayton Kershaw on the mound with only 45 pitches, 30 of them strikes, and with his pitch count in order and his effectiveness really good, you got a chance to maybe only see 2 pitchers tonight, Clayton Kershaw and maybe just Kenley Jansen, and that would be an outstanding formula for a Dodger W.
Treat it like a game 7. Find a way to get it done. Mac Williamson will pinch hit in the pitcher's spot to lead off this 5th. Kershaw gets him swinging on a slider for strike 1. Same thing.
Dave Roberts was asked about the rains that could be on Clayton Kershaw tonight, and he said there will be no rains, but 100 pitches is a fair estimation.
Only 47 right now. He's got his 3rd punch out of the game. This one with a fastball. We're out number 1 of the 5th, and we look at our Carls cam back at some nice defense last inning.
Absolutely fantastic play on the corner by Justin Turner and Cody Bellinger, and then after this outstanding play, they continued to play some stellar defense when Chris Taylor decided to just throw this one accurately with 2 outs right there on a fly to Yasmani. No review necessary for that put out at the plate.
Gorkas Hernandez at the top, fouls off the first pitch, strike 1. Now Chris Taylor, very strong arm, obviously, but he's had to learn how to kind of harness it in the outfield because he's not used to having to make throws of that length as an infielder. And what he was finding is that the ball was taken off on him and tailing and fading. 1-1. Can't lay off, and the count evens at 2-2. Full count. Lost the bat on strike 3, and back-to-back strikeouts for Kershaw to open the 5th.
Cutter down and in. Tries to get the head of the bat on it, but loses the grip, misses the ball, and throws the bat.
Two away for Joe Panik. Kershaw looking for his first 1-2-3 inning since the first. Panik looks at a strike. Another curve and another strike.
Couple of nasties right there. Can go almost anywhere after throwing these two curveballs. Fastball in, fastball low and away, slider, or you throw them another curve, but make sure you bounce it.
Fastball banged on the ground to third. Justin Turner's there, and a 1-2-3 fifth inning for Clayton Kershaw. On to the 6th in a 4-1 game. Timeless moment. 42 retired at every ballpark. On this date in 1947, Jackie Robinson was presented the very first Rookie of the Year award, which is an award that is now named after Jackie. An award the Dodgers have taken home 17 times. There's a good chance that man there makes it 18 this year. No other franchise has won more than 8 Rookies of the Year. Reyes Moronta comes in. Chris Taylor greets him with a base hit to left. And here's Seager. One and 0.
Moronta has pitched at 3 levels this year, AA, AAA, and now here in the big leagues. Was recalled on September 5th and made his major league debut that day. Was here for 1 day this year on May 10th, but didn't appear in the game. 96-mile-an-hour fastball.
Just can he locate it? So far, no. Boy, can you imagine, though, finally getting the call up, putting the uniform on, but technically not making it?
Just here for 24 hours.
Right. Wondering if you're going to get another opportunity. 3-1.
He had an ERA of 4 in AA and then got some appearances in AAA where he had a 2.12. So they're looking for pieces in the Giant bullpen. The opportunity is there. Over in Arizona, the D-backs now trail the Rockies 4-2 in the top of the 8th.
Seager chases, count goes full. Magic number coming in tonight is 10. Every Dodger win and every Diamondbacks loss will lower that. When it hits 0, the Dodgers will have clinched the division. Talk a few weeks ago is how early can they clinch. There goes Taylor on ball 4, and the first 2 have reached for the Dodgers here in the 6th.
Head to Dodger Stadium before the boys in blue host the Giants on Saturday, September 23rd for La Gran Fiesta. Brought to you by Spectrum and Coca-Cola. There'll be music, food, autographs, and fun for the entire family starting at 2 p.m. For tickets, visit Dodgers.com/Viva.
Be the final few games of the season series between these teams, which right now is tied at 7 apiece. And all time is almost dead even as well. Justin Turner flips one in the air to left field. Austin Slater well shy of the warning track for the first out. Taylor is headed for third. Seager will take second.
Chris Taylor did that earlier, scooting up a base on a sac fly to center field when he was on the bases. Now does it again using his wheels, and Corey Seager follows suit.
Brings up Bellinger, who's not been retired tonight. A couple of singles, and now a couple of intentional walks.
No time for the Dodgers offense to step on the necks of the Giants. No sense keeping this game close. Get your ace on the mound. You've got some momentum back. You've got a chance to have your winning ways return. And we take a look at the Arco top tier play of the game that really started to extend this game and put the Dodgers on top. Turner Ward not here. Yasiel's hitting coach for a couple of days, but Kenley Jansen filling in nicely.
And he's going to keep that roll going. It's almost like Kenley's heckling him, though. Just that look in his eye. Loaded up with 1 out in the 6th. Puig dumps it back. Strike 2. A 2-run double came after they walked Bellinger intentionally in the 4th inning. Walk him intentionally again here to get to Puig, loading the bases with 1 out. He strikes out.
It's a really good slider out there, just off the edge of the plate.
Up to Granderson. Just low for ball 1. Last night the Dodgers left 11 men on base in the 8-6 loss. They've already left 8 on tonight. And Ducks on the pond again here. Bases loaded, 2 gone. The 1-0 pitch on the corner for strike 1. Softly hit to first. Posey takes it to the bag. And Granderson has rolled over softly to the right side all 3 times tonight. Dodgers leave them loaded. Buick GMC dealers. Chase Utley tied the game with a home run in the 4th inning. There is more to come. 2-run double from Puig. Just barely missed getting out of here as well. Put him in front 4-1. And Clayton Kershaw with 4 strikeouts over 5 innings. The lone run coming in a Kelby Tomlinson home run. Pitch count very much under control as he gets ready to pitch the 6th. Three, 4, and 5. Here's Pence. One and 0. Couple Texas guys facing off here. It's about where their similarities in their paths end, though. Kershaw, 1st-round pick out of high school. Well, Pence, on the other hand, was a late bloomer. It wasn't until before his senior year of high school that he really committed to baseball seriously. Same time that he became a serious weightlifter, really bought into his workout regimen. Still, though, didn't have any Division I offers, so Pence went the junior college route. And eventually to UT Arlington, but he only got an opportunity there because a family friend knew the coach. Convinced him to give Pence a look. He went there, played 2 seasons. That's when he really took off and was drafted in the 2nd round by Houston. He's worked it full.
And Clayton Kershaw wasn't a power tumbler.
Nope, that was just Hunter. And his sister and his mom, all power tumblers. His dad wasn't a power tumbler, but worked in the cattle business. So the family moved around when he was growing up, staying in Texas, but bouncing from small town to small town. Said he learned to be good at making friends quickly because of that upbringing. And he's needed to exercise that, moving around quite a bit in his career. After the Astros drafted him, they traded him to the Phillies, and then less than a year later, the Phillies traded him to the Giants.
He's been an emotional team leader no matter where he's played. That moving around gave him an outgoing personality. Could have easily kind of shrunk a little bit and said, oh, you know, I'm always around new kids, I'll just be the quiet one. And boy, he is energetic, kinetic, and verbal.
Working against Kershaw to open this 6th, and ultimately singling to center.
Dodgers failed to add on in the last inning with bases loaded, 1 out, and then bases loaded, 2 out. Giants maybe a little momentum from getting out of that jam now with a base hit to start this inning. Clayton Kershaw understanding after watching the offense last inning that the responsibility is still falling on my shoulders. The lead did not get extended.
So on the 9th pitch of the AB, Pence singles into center, and it brings up Posey, trying to extend that 11-game hitting streak. Two years after Kershaw was taken 7th overall, Buster Posey was taken 5th overall. First pick that year, Tampa Bay took Tim Beckham. Can you imagine Buster Posey in a Rays uniform? You're working on it. I see it.
Yeah, I wouldn't want to see him in a Rays uniform.
Strokes a single to left. Back-to-back singles to open the 6th, and the Giants, just like that, have the tying run up there. Why not? Why wouldn't you want to see him in a Rays uniform? He's done so much damage through the years.
That's true, but I just see him as a Giant now.
Yeah, you're right.
Just Evan Longoria, he's done a lot of damage down there. Outstanding player. I can see him, but it's just from experience, not from taking it back and rewinding the tape.
Tim Beckham, by the way, has suddenly blossomed since the Rays traded him at the deadline this year to Baltimore. Taken off with an everyday opportunity. 2 on, nobody out. Nick Hundley, who banged a double his last time up there, takes strike 1. A little bit low with a curve.
I just don't understand how that can be a ball. It is caught just below the knees and it is breaking from the shoulders. Wow. Sure looks like it's going to catch the hollow of the knee, and it does. We haven't seen this story a lot during the losing streak because the Dodgers haven't had the lead, but we have seen the story where the offense has failed to capitalize on times when they have runners in scoring position.
Tonight they've left 11 on, and you're right, Dave Roberts has harped on situational hitting.
It just feels like they should be up 8-1 or 10-1 with all the traffic they've created.
And anytime you miss opportunities like that, this stage of the game feels a little fishy. Smells bad, I know you like to say, but especially when you've dropped 11 in a row. And it feels like you're never going to win another game sometimes, especially when you're unable to capitalize on some opportunities. Really starts to feel fishy this time of the night.
A 4-run fourth last night, but fell short. A 4-run fourth here tonight that has put them on top.
Didn't miss by much. Full count on Hundley.
And now Clayton Kershaw's pitch count is starting to climb, where you were hoping that it could be Clayton and just Kenley. Now it's getting to the point now there might need to be a bridge before you get to Kenley if Clayton can't all of a sudden get some quick outs.
Looking for his first out of this inning, and this next pitch will match the most that he's thrown in an inning tonight. 2 on, nobody out, and here comes a payoff.
And normally you're in a situation you're thinking, okay, the big fella's just going to get out of it. He always gets out of it. This is just going to be normal, and the Dodgers going to win. They'll finish this off. But with the context we're working with right now, you're on the edge of your seat with every pitch.
Another 3-2. Struck him out. With the slider, it's Kershaw's 5th.
1 for 5 the Giants are off of Clayton Kershaw with runners in scoring position tonight. The slider right here looks like a low strike, ends up a ball, but gets him to chase. Big time pitch for a big situation.
Austin Slater. Ground ball to third. Justin Turner's only play is to first. He throws wildly and the bases are loaded.
Well, Justin does a nice job charging it, and it looks like, boy, I would have to say there's something wrong with his right hand with that throw. We've seen a couple of those there. I don't know if he's got a jammed finger or something going on. He is a very accurate thrower of the ball and always has been since he and Chris Woodward over the last few years have really worked on his footwork. But that looks like something going on with the elbow, the arms, the hand, something.
And Ross Stripling getting loose in the Dodger bullpen. Bases loaded for the Giants, and Orlando Calixte takes ball one from Kershaw, who's cruising along through 5. Only 57 pitches. He's already thrown 21 here in the 6th and has gotten just 1 out.
I thought it was odd when I said that the Giants were 1 for 5 with runners in scoring position, but they are because Chris Taylor threw the runner out at the plate.
Ground ball, foul, 1-1. A lot of missed opportunities tonight for the Dodger offense. Kershaw trying to force one on the Giant side here. That's the 1-1 fly. Calixte swings and misses 1-2. Pence at third. Posey at second. They both singled. And Austin Slater reached on Justin Turner's throwing error. A 1-2. Breaking ball popped up. Center field, Chris Taylor's got it. Pence will head home to score, and it's 4-2. It brings up Kelby Tomlinson. And we look back at his home run in the 3rd. He entered the at-bat 0 for 14 lifetime against Kershaw.
Stayed short to the ball, picked on a fastball that was trying to be located down, but ended up a little bit, put a decent swing on it, got himself a dinger.
Depending on how quickly Clayton Kershaw can finish this inning, it'll be interesting to see with him coming up 3rd in the 7th inning if they hit for him or if they let him continue to go. Dave Roberts said before the game today, no limits as far as a pitch count, and then around 100 to be reasonable. And Kershaw's 3rd game back from the back injury. Ball 1.
Tighter than you'd like, but you got to concentrate on reality, not what you hoped for.
Kike Hernandez grabbing his batting gear in anticipation of being needed in the top of the 7th. A 2-0. Grounded softly, 2-1.
Clayton and Yasmani not giving in a 2-0 count. Still went with a cutter or a very hard slider.
Ball 3.
Buster Posey on second base. Yasmani did a little reverse shift as far as the location in case they were thinking about relaying signs or using body language to tell them where Yasmani was setting up.
Strike 2.
Little cutter for a strike.
And with 2 outs and a full count, runners will get a head start. That means a ball in the gap could tie this game. The payoff. Walked him. Kershaw's first walk of the night loads the bases. And a pinch hitter coming up here to be Tim Federovich. Looks like Roberts started to make his way out there, and then instead Rick Honeycutt said, hold on, I'll make the visit.
There's no way Clayton Kershaw would want to come out of this game, and I don't think there's any way that they'll be taking him out. Rick Honeycutt just going out there to give him a blow. This is the most pitches he's thrown in 1 inning, and they'll be the most important pitches of this game that he's about to throw. '86 pitches total, 29 this inning. Rick Honeycutt going over the scouting report. Clayton Kershaw gathering his thoughts.
And about to face a guy that caught him a handful of times. His major league debut with the Dodgers in 2011. Spot duty between 2011 and 2014. Now in his first year with the Giants, his lone hit in 5 at-bats, a home run. Ball 1. Strike 1. Posey's at third. Slater's at second. And Tomlinson's at first. Kershaw trying to limit the damage to 1 as the Dodgers try to snap the skid. And he's ahead 1 ball and 2 strikes with a pair of sliders, getting ahead of Federovich.
A lot of confidence in this pitch right now. As the inning has been built, he has relied on that for outs.
And typically animated Clayton Kershaw.
And I think he said same pitch to Yasmani. So there was no timing issue.
1-2. Struck him out. Limits the damage to 1. On to the 7th inning in a 4-2 game.
Big pitches tonight, 6 innings. Looks like he might be finished. Dave Roberts giving him a shake of the hand. Clayton, little talk, but gave up 1 run, but didn't give up the lead. Fedorovich, fastball overthrown up, but then he goes to the well with a couple of great sliders and finishes him with his curveball. Outstanding at bat in a pressure situation when the team needed him the most.
So 6 Ks for him total tonight, and a 4-2 lead as we move on to the 7th inning. Dodgers 1 win in their last 17 games. It was a Clayton Kershaw game. It was a 1-0 game in San Diego. This one 4-2. Osmani Grandal facing Josh Osich, who's into the game to pitch for Bruce Bochy, and in the zone with strike 1. Logan Forsythe on deck. One and two. Grandal stays alive. And an off-speed pitch thrown to the outside corner by Osich. Native of Boise, Idaho. A great outdoors town. And his family had a bunch of land there. The base of the foothills in Boise. They had cattle. They had fruit, vegetables that they grew. Grandal down swinging for the first out of the 7th. Dodger fans, add to your bobblehead collection Tuesday, September 26th, when the Padres are in town. First 40,000 fans in attendance get a Julio Urias bobblehead from Arco. 10th and final bobblehead of this year's collection. Go to Dodgers.com/promotions. Ross Stripling back to work. Looks like he'll handle the bottom of the 7th. As Forsythe comes up, pinch hitting for Kershaw. Or for Utley, beg your pardon. Another than 2. Osich in his 3rd major league season now. Almost quit playing baseball when he was in the minors after a few disappointing seasons. Dealt with a lot of injuries. Him and his wife sat down beginning of 2015 before spring training and said, okay, we're going to give it one more shot. And if it doesn't happen, that's it. Fly ball to center field. Dorcas Hernandez has it for out number 2. Started that season in Double-A. And they said not only if I don't make it to the majors, that's not the only thing. If I don't progress, I'm done. So if he was going to stick in Double-A for that 2015 season, he and his wife had enough. But he had a really good start to the year in Double-A. Up to Triple-A for 2 games. And soon after that, was called up to the majors for his debut. Two up, 2 down for him to open the 7th, and Kike Hernandez pinch hitting in the 9th spot, looking at strike 1. So Kershaw officially done and in position to win this game if the bullpen can hang on. Ross Stripling to be the first man to try and protect the lead. He'll be the first man out of the pen to try and buck a trend from this losing streak. Ground ball behind second. Tomlinson throws and gets him. Wow, what a play by Kelby Tomlinson.
Ridiculous range, ridiculous throw. Outstanding play with the pop-up slide to get him. Wow.
Alongside Nomar Garcia-Parra, Jerry Hairston Jr., we certainly hope you're enjoying Dodgers baseball on KTLA, presented by Spectrum. Let's look at the Dodgers calendar. Wednesday is the series finale against the Giants, an off day on Thursday, then the big weekend showdown with the Nationals. Sign up for Spectrum TV. It's the best ticket in town. You can see us on Sportsnet LA right after the game. Joe, Oral.
All right, John. Kike Hernandez remains in the game in left field after getting robbed of a base hit. And same for Logan Forsythe. He's in at second. Ross Stripling trying to protect the 4-2 lead. Denard Span will pinch hit to open the inning and looks at strike one. Dodger bullpen during this losing streak with a .754 earned run average. One and one.
Dodgers find a way to win this game here. You go, okay, they've broken the curse. They've got themselves in the win column. But every pitcher that takes the mound is really battling through a slump. The offense can start to say we're coming to life, but the pitching staff, it just doesn't happen all in one night because they all don't take the mound that night. And so all those bullpen pieces you're talking about, they're fighting through a mental battle of waiting to get back on the mound and waiting to do well so that they can get on a roll, just like they hope the team records a W and gets on a roll as a whole. Individually, they need to find their parts and their pieces and get going.
Span rips it by the bag, a fair ball. Dead ends on the sidewall, so Puig has no chance, and Span has a leadoff double.
This man has shown that he can hit the low and in pitch, whether it's a breaking ball, a slider, a curveball, or a fastball. That's the location of the splash zone hit home run he had yesterday. That low and in pitch looks like his hot zone right now.
Now into the teeth of this Giants order, and it is all Ross Stripling. Nobody down in the Dodger bullpen. Well, Stripling, one of the only guys that, when you're looking through the game by game recently, one of the only guys in that bullpen that hasn't struggled. In fact, Stripling's only given up 1 run over his last 10 games. This is badly with the first one to panic.
I think that's why he's out there. A couple of days off. He is one of the hot hands that Dave Roberts can call on to try and break this skid.
Well, before the starting pitching started to falter the last couple of weeks, that was one of the primary questions. What would the bridge to Kenley Jansen look like as Pedro Baez started to falter? Brandon Morrow dealt with some health things. And they're still trying to answer that question. The easiest one right now would probably be Brandon Morrow, if you were a betting man. 2-0 pitch. Panik hooks one into right. Here comes Puig. Lays out and can't quite get it. Back-to-back hits to open the 7th against Stripling, and the Giants are at the corners.
One hit well and one hit poorly, but both fall in. Yasiel gave it his best and fortunate to keep that ball in front of him. Great awareness of realizing you're not going to catch it, then staying with the ball on the hop. It's a run-saving play.
Go-ahead run up there, and it's Hunter Pence. Two hits against Kershaw tonight. 5 for 8 in this series for a guy who's really struggled for the most part this year. Stripling's first one. On the corner for strike one.
First thing in your mind if you're Ross Stripling right here is you trade 2 outs for 1 run. If you can get to a count where you think you can save the runner on third, you go for it, but not until 2 strikes. You cannot risk a big crooked number. Especially not in this portion of the Giant order.
After Pence, it's Posey. Smack to second. Forsythe gets 1. Seager's turn is late. It's a 4-3 game as Span comes in to score on the fielder's choice ground out from Hunter Pence.
Two of 3 balls now hit weakly, but a run and only 1 out for the Dodgers. Having to pitch through some traffic and having to pitch through the middle of this order.
One on, 1 out. Here's Posey, who is 1 for 3 today to extend his hitting streak to 12. Against Ross Stripling, who made his major league debut in this ballpark and took a no-hitter into the 8th inning last April. Perfectly placed for strike 1. 1-1.
1-run lead. Dodger outfield real deep. Buster Posey, great power, but also trying to prevent the ball from getting into any of the gaps. Hunter Pence, very fleet of foot at first base. Fourth inning, it started to smell like it was going to be an easy W. Doesn't seem like anything is going to be easy.
All 4 Dodger runs came in that fourth. Stranded a small village around it. Did miss by much. 2-1.
Everything you want right now. Searching for a victory, searching for strikes, just misses.
On the ground is second. Forsythe gets one. Seager's turn. In time, a double play. Giants get one, but only one. It's a 4-3 game.
Dodgers baseball on Sportsnet LA is brought to you by Nissan. Choose Nissan today for great offers on our most exciting lineup ever. Shop ChooseNissan.com.
Pretty cool night here in San Francisco as we move along to the 8th inning with the Dodgers in front 4-3, and Derek Law for the second night in a row comes in to pitch in relief for Bruce Bochy.
Ground ball specialist trying to keep the ball down. Dodgers are going to be trying to dig it out and elevate it for some line drives.
Top of the order. Taylor's 1 for 4. The run came in the fourth like all 4 did. Examining over here. Somebody crowding around a bat. Here's Kike Hernandez's bat. You know, I seem to have an issue with his card, positioning card. Notice that he pulled it out and was holding it up right when he checked in the game in left field. I don't know if they were checking it again there. Maybe it was an old card or something that was in there. Who knows? 1-0 pitch to Chris Taylor. And a check swing roller. This won't be an easy play. Bare hand Posey, and the throw is wide. And he shakes his hands. That's a signal for barrels are overrated.
Usually Justin Turner is the one that he is given that signal to, and as he dives across first base, pretty much holds the pose on one knee so he doesn't give any information to the Greg Gibson, the first base umpire, that he's making any attempt to go to second base. But he does wiggle his one hand there to Justin Turner as he comes into the on-deck circle.
That is ruled a base hit. And Seager chops this one foul. That whole thing was born in Chicago this summer when Chris Taylor had the first 4-hit game of his career. And he said it was the luckiest night of his career. He didn't barrel up a single ball. Actually, it might not have been his first 4-hit game. I think his second 4-hit game. But didn't barrel up a single ball, yet got 4 hits. So that was the line they came up with. Barrels are overrated. There have been T-shirts that have been made. And then him shaking his hands is basically him saying, I got jammed, I got rattled, but who cares? A couple of strikeouts and a walk for Seager tonight. Brought home a run with a sac fly in that 4-run inning. You know, you were talking about it looking like it might be an easy night. And they got the 4 runs in the 4th inning. But then said nothing right now is easy. And you're right, with this 11-game losing streak. But Vin always talked about it's never been easy. That's what being a Dodger is about, all the way back to the Brooklyn days. And really especially the Brooklyn days. All the heartbreak they had in the early years of the franchise and into the late years of the franchise in Brooklyn before moving to Los Angeles in 1958. Strike 3 called on Seager for the first out of the 8th. And the LA Dodgers have experienced their fair share of heartbreak too. Even when things have gone right, even when things have ended up well, rarely has it been easy. '88. You weren't supposed to beat Oakland.
No, we weren't supposed to beat the Mets
You're
first
right.
of all, then to beat Oakland.
2 outs in the 9th inning of Game 1 against Oakland. You're not supposed to beat Oakland. You're supposed to be down 1-0. It's not easy to homer against Dennis Eckersley. It's not easy to homer against anybody on 2 bad legs.
Not easy to homer against Dwight Gooden like Mike Scioscia did in New York in the rain, and then Kirk Gibson hits a home run in the 12th to put us ahead. A lot of miracles that happen when you win championships. They only get classified as miracles because it ain't easy.
1 ball, 1 strike on Turner. If the Dodgers find a way to end that World Championship drought this year, what they're going through right now will be as special a part of the story as winning 50 of 60 or whatever the stretch wound up being. Doesn't feel like it right now. Dodger fans and the Dodgers can't wait for this streak to end. But if they can figure things out, this will be a defining stretch. Coming out of it will be a defining thing.
The ball club is hoping they're 6 defensive outs away from breaking the string. Offensively, you'd like to tack on right now and make those 6 outs a little easier.
Turner lifts one to left center field. That ball's carrying well. It's splitting the gap. It's rolling to the wall. It's bringing home Taylor. Justin Turner with an RBI double to provide insurance in the 8th.
Justin balancing his books with that double right there. An errant throw from third base when he was over there making some outstanding plays. Cost the Dodgers a run, but right here picks on a breaking ball and splits the gap in left center. A few of the Dodgers on the bench are probably saying Yahoo.
All right, the Yahoo sign and roll too.
As you have said to me in the past, stay with me, Davis.
I had looked down. I wasn't checking the monitor on the replay, and I had no idea what you were talking about. Ball one on Bellinger. I like it. How many games in are we? However many games in we are, that's the first time you've dropped a Davis on me. This is game 145, and this is the 3rd intentional walk tonight of Cody Bellinger. Getting treated like a different cleanup hitter used to get treated in this ballpark in the other uniform.
Scouts around baseball that have been watching the Dodgers through the hot streak and through this cold streak and preparing for the playoffs. When you pass them, they want to ask you, who's going to hit behind Bellinger? That guy's going to get a lot of opportunities because that kid is going to get a lot of walks, and Bruce Bochy is showing some October strategy here in September.
And giving Puig an opportunity to perhaps earn that role. Dave Roberts has said repeatedly lately that they're still trying to solve things and figure out exactly what that lineup will look like. Smashed to center on a line, but it's right at Span. And Dave Roberts, as they continue to try and solve things, will look through that result and identify the process is looking exactly how he wants it to. Two on, two out, and here's Barnes. Perhaps nobody lately is having more consistent good at-bats than Austin Barnes, who's continued to go from forcing his way into the lineup to see a little bit more playing time than a backup catcher normally would, to being almost in a strict platoon with Grandal, to even being part of a conversation about taking even more playing time from Grandal. He takes ball one.
We mentioned it earlier in the broadcast, but in the batter's box for the Dodgers right now is the best right-handed hitter against right-handed pitchers in the big leagues. 365 average, and that is with people that have at least 50 at-bats.
Derek Law's 1-0 pitch is a breaking ball that drops in for a strike. Turner at second, Bellinger at first. Law to the plate, 1-1. That's low for ball two on Austin Barnes. Other thing that Austin brings to the table is the versatility. Doesn't necessarily have to be behind the plate that he gets himself in the lineup. He can play second. He's probably athletic enough to play other places too. On a 2-1, he takes ball three.
We saw this with another bat in the Dodger lineup this year, Chris Taylor. The bat was so effective that they had to find a place for him to play. and his ability to be versatile and play all over the diamond. Austin Barnes has that same type of tool set.
And a hitter's count here with 2 on and 2 out in the 8th. Perfectly placed fastball from Law, runs it full. Runners who get a head start. There they go. Here it comes. Ground ball to short. Backhand Tomlinson. And the inning is over. But the Dodgers add one and a double from Justin Turner to the bottom of the 8th. Brandon Morrow ready to come on, trying to protect a 5-3 lead.
Backstage Dodgers top prospect Walker Buehler makes his Dodgers debut. Don't miss Backstage Dodgers presented by Hankook Tires Friday after the postgame on Sportsnet LA.
Back in San Francisco, Brandon Morrow will try and bridge this thing to Kenley Jansen, giving up runs in only one of his last 12 games over the last month.
Exceptional velocity, exceptional efficiency. The pitch count when he tabulates a 0 is one of the lowest in the big leagues. He just hammers that strike zone with quality stuff.
5, 6, and 7, and a light rain has started to fall here. You can pick that up a little bit on this shot of Hundley. Very light mist. Not nearly what we had last night to delay this thing late into the night. Time is called. Plate umpire DJ Rayburn, not sure exactly what he saw. What do we got?
It's a mystery to me.
Some Yahoo out there. Huh?
I got it.
Okay. Stick with me, Hershiser.
Oh, that was a weak one.
I know. I had to get it in. You were with me. You didn't deserve it.
That's all right. I'll take it.
1 ball, no strikes.
Got to build your confidence.
Thanks. Brandon Morrow, another good pickup by the Dodger front office in the bullpen. That at first looks like no big deal. And you think back to last year, Josh Fields getting acquired at the deadline. Joe Blanton signed to the one-year deal prior to last season. Add Brandon Moore to that group. Started the season in the minors, was brought up to see what he could do, even though he had been really bad in AAA. Nick Hundley looks a lot like Corey Seager.
Maybe that's why they're holding the game up. They wanted to get the pictures right.
Right. Can't play with wrong headshots up there. The Giants are now playing the game under protest. Got him swinging with a fastball at 98.
It's nice to be laughing here in the 8th inning. We haven't gotten to laugh in the 8th inning in a while. I hope we end up laughing at the end of the game.
What was it John Hartong told us yesterday during the pregame show? You and I haven't done a win together since like August.
It's been a long
15th.
time. They can blame it on us.
Here's Slater. Ball one. Now the reason Morrow came up when he did was because his contract dictated that if he wasn't called up by a certain date, he could become a free agent. Wasn't that his performance dictated that he get called up or that there was a need on the major league roster. This was in early June, late May, early June, when the team was in St. Louis. And it was, oh yeah, there's a provision in Brandon Morrow's contract. Remember the guy down there in AAA Oklahoma City that the Dodgers signed? That's why he's here now. Let's see what he's got. And here he is a few weeks from October as the most likely high leverage setup man. He's ahead 1-2 with that fastball in the high 90s.
One of those fastballs will cut. One of them will tail like that last one right there. Also has a very devastating slider. Almost breaks like a curveball. That was it right there. Didn't break quite as big as it does when he is really on it. But that one was good enough at 91.
And there goes Kenley Jansen. Base hit to center. Heck of a night for Austin Slater. Hits against Clayton Kershaw and Brandon Morrow. And the Giants bring the tying run up in the form of the pinch hitting Pablo Sandoval.
An insurance run makes this at bat against the Panda a little easier. But still up by 2 and facing the tying run.
He is 2 for his last 50. Strike one. Morrow's been even better against left-handed hitters than he has against righties this year. So much so that there are certain left-handed hitters that you could look at as him being a matchup guy for. 1 ball, 1 strike. Good take. Sandoval to get ahead 2-1. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Still some Panda fans here, even with how poorly things are going. Even with kind of the messy departure a couple years ago. He's the second out of the inning as Morrow tails 99 in there.
His effectiveness against left-handed batters is his ability to throw the ball hard and elevate it. And he also can make it go in 2 different directions. Built the count with a cutter in, but then finished him off with 2 tailers away.
Dave Roberts going to call on Kenley Jansen for 4 outs in this one. Kelby Tomlinson has had an impressive night so far. And the big fella's coming on to try and hang on to this 5-3 lead.
Brought to you by BMW. See a Southern California BMW Center today for exceptional offers or visit SoCalBMW.com. And by Jack in the Box. Come try the new $4.99 Smoky Jack Burger Combo. A small fries and a small drink. Limited time only.
It's only the second save opportunity for Kenley Jansen in the last 18 days. He converted the first in the 1-0 Dodger win on September 1st. The only win during this 17-game run. Jared Parker pinch hitting, representing the tying run with 2 out in the 8th. On the first pitch, it's hit foul. Dave Roberts not messing around. Brandon Morrow looked like he had his good stuff, but with Kenley Jansen as well rested as he is, and the Dodgers as desperate as they are, going to Jansen for 4 outs. Quickly, no balls, 2 strikes.
Tonight's challenge started with Clayton Kershaw. Ross Stripling part of the bridge, Brandon Morrow part of the bridge, but the weight now falls on Kenley's shoulders.
One ball, two strikes on Parker. This guy we saw last night with a weird thing he does with his elbow before each swing. Runner at first with two gone, and a 1-2 pitch from Kenley Jansen. Crack bat, soft bouncer behind the bag. Corey Seager. That's the inning. On to the ninth. The Dodgers in front 5-3 and 3 defensive outs away from ending this long skid. He plays third. Brandon Crawford comes in at short and will bat in the bottom of the ninth inning against Kenley Jansen. This is Roberto Gomez for his third game as a big leaguer.
Dodgers would like to add on again. The pieces get a little weaker out of the Giant bullpen as Bruce Bochy sees that Dodgers have this game in hand, but nothing is in hand when you're going through a streak like this. Not until you get to the very end.
Bottom of the order. Grandal to lead it off. The 0 for 3 tonight, 1 for 29 in September. Check swing, strike one. Gomez, a former starting pitcher in the Tampa Bay Rays organization, but missed all of 2015, all of 2016 because of injuries. He was claimed in the Rule 5 draft by the Giants this offseason. I beg your pardon, he was just a minor league signee. And made his major league debut this month. He's got Grandal on 3 pitches, 1 out.
Nasty breaking ball right there. Excuse me. Ball had real good depth to it. A lot of times from a right-hander, you don't see that sharp a break on the arm side over there without bringing it down and into a left-handed batter.
Forsythe fly to center his only time tonight, replacing Chase Utley in the 7th inning. And now facing Roberto Gomez. 28-year-old out of the Dominican Republic fires a 1-0 pitch. Strike one. The Giants in the bottom of the 9th. 9-1-2 coming up. That's Crawford, then Span, then Panic. So it won't be easy for Kenley Jansen. One and two. One more game in this series. It's tomorrow at 7:15. Yu Darvish for the Dodgers, Matt Moore for the Giants. Travel to D.C. on Thursday. 3-game series with Washington over the weekend.
There's a contrast in the two benches now. All the Dodgers still up on the top step trying to break this losing streak, and the Giants are kind of easing back into their dugout. A little less attentive. A lot of guys down in the locker room now that have been taken out of the game. It's not happening in the blue side.
Forsythe continues to work. That ball will reach the seats. And it stays at 2-2. How large will Logan Forsythe's role be in October? It's one of the things we're trying to figure out. Chase Utley getting more starts right now against right-handed pitching. It's not a strict platoon at this point, but Dave Roberts saying Utley does deserve an opportunity to make it one. Forsythe ultimately goes down swinging, 2 out. And Utley made a good case tonight, tying the game with a solo home run in the 4th inning. But 2 outs, here's Kike Hernandez.
He hit in the 7th and got robbed on an unbelievable play by Kelby Tomlinson. Up the middle, spinning, pop-up slide, strong throw, barely got him.
Poke to right field. Pence is back on it, on the warning track to catch it. And that does it for the Dodgers in the top of the 9th. Fasten those seat belts. 3 outs away from getting that feeling again. of the game is Clayton Kershaw, trying to be the guy that ends this losing streak. He's really solid tonight. Pitched out of a couple of jams late, and in position to win this game with a 2-run lead to the bottom of the 9th inning. When the Dodgers enter the 9th with the lead, they're 79-0. That man there, a big part of the reason why. One of the game's best. He'll have to face the Giants' best in this inning. Crawford to lead it off. Shows bunt. Takes a ball. Strike one.
Crawford hitting below 250 over the last 9 games or so. Before that, he was really hot, hitting over 400 in the 10 games prior to that. He's looking to get his engine started again.
1-2 now.
Tough task against Kenley Jansen here. Kenley's heard all the motivational talks. Kenley's heard all the sidebar conversations with teammates. Kenley's been in all the team meetings. He knows what they've all been about. Breaking this losing streak. Now he's got him 3 outs away.
2-2. Gosh, it feels like the tension here feels like a clinch game or a game in the middle of a race. Borderline postseason tension to it from the Dodgers' perspective.
They need to burst the bubble.
A 2-2. Broke his bat. He'll go get a new one. Dodgers looking for their first win since September 1st. They're 91-36. Each night felt like it was a sure thing almost that they were going to win. It got to the point where it felt impossible to bet against them. It swung entirely in the opposite direction, though, where it's feeling like, are they ever going to win again? Well, of course they will. Question was when. How long was that streak going to go on? Trying to end it at 11. A 2-2 to Crawford. Nationals got shut out tonight, so the Dodgers with a chance to extend the lead for the top seed in the league to 4.5 games. The big series looming with the Nationals this weekend. Crawford down on strikes, 1 away. As Jansen goes to the slider to get the first out of the 9th.
Ran the cutter in on his hands and up there around his belt, then gets one starting at the belt but drops it on the plate. Outstanding pitch.
Denard Span.
Over the last couple innings, I've been getting texts from friends and portions of the Dodger family that aren't here in San Francisco, and they are saying also it feels like a playoff game. Mentally, in your brain, you know it's going to end, but in your heart, you need it to end.
Especially when you're finally on the brink of it happening. A lot of the losses, they've trailed the whole way. Here's one that they have right in their hands. They can almost wrap their arms around it and consider it their own. 1 ball and 1 strike on Span.
been a long run for that man, and he has been a consistent hand. And I'd like to say a steadying force. The force didn't turn into wins, but boy, he has shown himself proud through this very tumultuous time. It is hard to face the media 2-3 times a day and be going through a streak like this as a manager.
Span rifles a base hit to right. It's never easy. Giants getting the tying run to the plate against Jansen.
Span is really hot. I mean, he doesn't swing the bat without barreling it up. And again, that trying to go up and in on him, but missing down and in, and that's what he is hitting hard. The last 7 games, Span is hitting .455.
Joe Panik's right around that same number. The huge series he had in Colorado last week. He's kept it going here in this series. 2 for 4 tonight. After Panik, it'll be Pence. Jansen knocking some mud off of his shoes. Here we go. Jansen's first one. Grounded foul. Runner takes off on strike 2. Runner at second. Not important. It's the next one that matters. Joe Panik hitting close to .500 over his last 10 games. Jansen has him in an 0-2 hole. Grounded back to him, off of him, Forsythe, bare hand, no play. And the Giants bring the winning run to the plate.
You start wringing your hands, you start wondering what if. That ball, Kenley will tell you, should have been caught. It just spun on him and ducked under his glove, hits him right in the leg. That killed it enough.
Two on, one out, and Hunter Pence. On a night where it's the low 60s, a reminder that October's coming. The Dodgers need to get this thing turned around ASAP. Jansen to Pence. Strike 1.
You can't out adrenaline this guy. This guy will rise to the occasion and he'll get excited right along with you. And that guy on deck, he will have a slow pulse if there is a chance to beat the Dodgers.
One and one. Span and Panik both with base hits. A 1-1 pitch to Hunter Pence. Dribbled in front of the plate. Jansen has no play, and the bases are loaded for Buster Posey. And against Kenley Jansen lifetime, he's a .444 hitter.
The inning started very comfortably for the Dodgers and Dodger fans here in San Francisco. Now anybody wearing orange and black in the stands is standing. And I'm sure we'll start to hear the Beat LA chant. They've been out of it for a long time, but they do not like anything good for LA to happen in this ballpark.
All that's left really to take satisfaction from is little things like this, beating their rival. Bases loaded, 1 out. Dodgers in front by 2 in the 9th inning. Jansen to Posey. Strike 1.
Guessing cutter, gets cutter, but it's not in a place where you can hit it.
Ball 1. Solid hit from Span, but then 2 singles that don't even leave the inning. Don't even leave the infield. Two and 1. The weight of this 11-game losing streak on Kenley Jansen's shoulders right now.
This is where you got to trust your stuff. Buster Posey on the very first pitch looked like he was coming out of his shoes no matter where it was thrown. Now he looks disciplined. If you pitch to avoid defeat and throw balls, I think he'll take them. You've got to attack him here. Got to find your way back into the strike zone.
Set for the 2-1. Strike 2. He did attack him to even the count.
Outstanding pitch right there. Outer half and low. Didn't throw something that was going to be borderline a ball. He attacked him with a strike, kept it down. You get Posey to hit it on the ground, you can turn 2.
The 2-2. Went to the slider. Posey took it. Count goes full.
I love the pitch selection. Kenley just wishes he could have got a little bit more of the plate when it came out of his hand. It was pretty easy take for Posey when it starts out there, because when it's at the corner, it's either going to break like that slider that he throws rarely or cut. The fielders have been watching this battle a while. You got to be on your toes and be ready to catch the ball for him.
Here comes the payoff. He struck him out. 2 gone in the 9th inning.
He didn't shy away from him. He took it right down Central Avenue. Great pitch. Strength against strength, and beat him to the spot.
Dodgers have won 92 games this year. If they can get the final out of this one, this might feel the best of them all. Rick Honeycutt out to talk with Kenley Jansen, who you saw there has owned Nick Hundley in their previous meetings. You don't take anything for granted at this stage, though.
They are not playing for their record. They're playing to get their hearts turned around.
Think there's any butterflies in Dave Roberts' belly right now?
I think they're all on the edge of their seat.
It's not the look of a manager in a routine game 145. This one's different. One out away. Bases loaded in the 9th inning. Dodgers in front of the Giants 5-3. Kenley Jansen against Nick Hundley. Strike one.
I could tell you this, Dave Roberts and the Dodger staff are playing for the win. The outfielders are in. They're not worried about gaps with the winning run on first. They are worried about recording an out.
Home plate umpire just had Kenley Jansen move the rosin bag behind the mound. Nick Hundley complained. Be distracting for a hitter. Span at third, Panic at second, Pence at first. 0-1 pitch. Strike two.
He's late on the cutter. You don't have to make an adjustment. You just take him off the plate or up the stairs.
It's over. The Dodgers can smile again. The losing streak ends at 11 with a 5-3 win over the rival Giants.
They walk onto the field, but they all are breathing a little deeper. Dave Roberts carrying the weight of the world. Kenley Jansen put it on his arm. Little smile, handshake with the staff. Rick Honeycutt and Bob Guerin smiling and easing into it also.
93rd win of the season, and as special as any of the first 92, that is for sure.